Hey guys, so now you came to a video to find out how exactly you want to pass for Kpop Audition. Well, given that I've auditioned so many times in the past, as I mentioned in the previous video, I've already auditioned a total of 72 times, and due to my in-depth research, I'll be giving you a further 5 more tips on how you can pass your next Kpop audition. Let's get started. Tip number 1. When you are auditioning for a specific company, always go in depth and research on what the company looks for in an idol. For example, with SM, they look more on the flower boy, flower girl, or the pretty boy, pretty girl looks, because in SM, they focus more on the visual compared to YG. They focus more on the hip hop, swag, talent, and of course, what vibe they give off. So because they specialize in R&B and hip hop music, that's where YG usually takes the trainees into consideration in that specific category. While for JYP, they're much more freer, they're much more open, but they focus more on the dancing talent. So when you're auditioning for a specific company, the first step you must do is to go into research on what style they produce, what style they do, so then it could increase your chances of passing the audition given what style you do. As in for me personally, because I'm from a hip-hop background, I do a lot of R&B music, I think YG would be suited towards me, but yeah, I'm a bit too old for them, and yeah, all the issues that happened in the past. Tip number 2, expanding on tip number 1, dress accordingly. What I mean by dress accordingly is wear outfit that suits the company style or genre they specialize in. Let's say you go into audition for SM. You want to at least go for the flower boy and flower girl looks, which means go ahead and buy all the clothing and the accessories that are required to pull out that flower boy look. Same thing applies for YG, SYG, JYP, Big Hit, and so on with many other companies. I'd say again, expanding on tip number 1, you want to go into research on your companies, and then afterwards you want to try to put together the correct look you want for your audition. Also, avoid wearing fanboy or fangirl based outfits. Avoid wearing all merchandise at all costs, because then you'll end up passing up as a wannabe, and therefore you may not be considered to even pass the audition because judges will think you're just another K-pop wannabe. Tip number 3. Just like tip number 1 and 2, you want to choose songs or dances that represent the company's genre, because when the judges judge what song you perform or what dance you dance to, they'll take into account if that style you deliver suits their style. And I keep repeating myself this over and over again. For example, if you want to pass a YG audition, you want to perform songs that are hip hop or R&B based, same thing along with dance, and same thing with JYP. You want to perform songs that have the flower boy and flower girl look. And also, under no circumstances are you to perform a song or a dance that is produced by this company, because in the end you'll end up being compared to how well you perform against the artist, and of course it makes you look like a K-pop wannabe, or you just want to make their fans. So I suggest you want to go with songs or dances that represent the company style, and if you don't know which song to deliver, do your research and do your practice, and also bring out your confidence within it, just like how I explained in the other video. Tip number 4. Speaking of confidence, always show your confidence and your charisma to the fullest potential, and show that you have the will to improve. This will involve looking at the camera / judges directly in the eye like an eagle, or making body movement or hand gestures while you sing, rap, and of course giving up your character and vibe to the judges, especially when you dance, sing or rap. Because why? What you do in an audition will reflect on how well you do on stage shall you debut. I mean, if you think about it, no one really wants to see an idol perform with no confidence or charisma. Think about it. Tip number 5. Last but not least, this is a very important one. You must be able to pass the camera test. Why? Because K-pop is all about beauty and perfectionism. What that means is you must look good and attractive at every single angle, and you must be able to monitor yourself on how well you perform on screen. And every angle that looks off or unattractive will be off-putting to the judges, and not to mention it will be off-putting to all the viewers in K-pop. So I recommend you practice on how well you look at a camera to see which certain angles best fit on how you perform and how well you look. Or what I also recommend is if you have chubby cheeks or anything like that, I suggest you try and drop down in weight, or I suggest you try to shape to fit the ideal K-pop jawline. So this pretty much just wraps up the video, and I hope you enjoyed, but please take these 5 tips that I've mentioned into consideration into maximizing your next audition. However, there are plenty more in-depth tips I can provide for you in my next upcoming video, but however, I will have to personally warn you that this video will make you realize the harsh reality of K-pop and the possibility of passing. But if you're willing to find out, please stay tuned for the next video. Until next time though, peace.